Unleash the power of clear desires and unwavering faith for wealth and fulfillment. Your journey from imagination to reality starts now. We're going live.
No. We'll do it live.
This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
Happy hump day, gentlemen. How the hell are you? How's your week going for you so far? How's it going? You guys doing all right out there? We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Halfway through. This coffee tastes good in one of these mugs, guys. You can get one of these at merch.comeonmanpod.com. Speaking of merch, I got my Impact Wrestling stuff on today. Nurse Chick and I, we're going out to Vegas this weekend. We're going to go watch the first ever return of TNA wrestling. If you guys don't know, TNA wrestling, they changed their name to Impact. I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. They're changing it back to TNA now. And Nurse Chick and I have tickets in Las Vegas. We're going to go see that. I think it's called Hard to Kill. It's at the Palms. So we're going out to Vegas on Fridays. Should be good. So Friday's stream is going to be live, but like as soon as I'm done, I've got to like quickly upload the show to Spotify, upload the stuff to upload clips to Opus Clip, and then I got to hit the road. So that's going to be my morning. It's going to be a mad rush to get the hell out of the house. Guys, look, check this out. Before we get into the topic today, I want to show this to you. A friend of mine, I don't want to mention any names, like he likes to stay anonymous, but a friend of mine who lives in England, his dad saw my book laying around, right? Because I sent him a copy, and his dad saw his book laying around, so he picked up the book and read it and loved it. He sent me this voice message.
I just happened to find your book and started reading it, and it is gold. And every young man should read that. It should be bloody mandatory in every school. Not the woke crap that they teach them, which is all bullshit. But what you've written there is what men need to know. I especially like the bit about going for the women who kind of opened the door for you. Because that's something I didn't know, and I nearly made a complete dick of myself. All right, no harm was done, and I'm still married 50 years on. But good work, mister. Thank you.
Wasn't that nice? That was awesome. It was unexpected, and I was like, man, that's really great. And the thing is, like, this guy's dad's not a red-pilled guy, you know? So he read the book, and he really liked how I laid out the spinning plates and dating chapter and stuff like that. So really good. I appreciate that. You guys can still get the books on Amazon. Check this out, guys. This is what the hardcover looks like. Isn't that nice? Man, they did a really good job with this. It's like really good paper. It's shiny gloss colors for the images and stuff like that. So see that. I'm already sold out of these of the autograph copies. They came in. This is my copy, but they came in and they were already spoken for. So I've got a couple more on the way. If you guys want to get on that list, you guys can go. Let me drop a link here in the chat. You got to go to Gumroad. Let's see. Go to comeonmanpod.gumroad.com and you can get autograph copies there. I have 2 of the standard edition. Here we go. Hold on a second. I can't multitask, guys. Autographed copies. There we go. I have 2 of the standard edition paperbacks available if you guys want them. Those are in stock. So if you order them today, like I'll drop them in the mail like this afternoon. But the hardcovers are sold out. The special editions are sold out. I've got more special editions coming. I think tomorrow they should be in the mail. And then a couple of you guys already have those pre-ordered, but I ordered extras. So I should have some of those available starting tomorrow. So anyway, that's just an update with that. That's not what we're talking about today, though. We are talking about this book today, right? We are continuing my series on the science of getting rich. This particular paperback is actually a trilogy, right? Science of getting rich, science of being well, science of being great. we're only doing this first book, right? It's actually a relatively short book. It's 16 chapters, but each chapter is really short. So what I've been doing, if you guys haven't been following along, is each episode that in this series, I'm going through one chapter, and I'm not reading it to you verbatim. I'm just going over some of the key concepts. But this book was originally published in like 1910, 1911. It depends on where I'm looking, where I see that number, right? Sometimes I see it posted as it was originally published in 1910. Other places I see it was published in 1911. I don't know. I wasn't there, but it's an old school law of attraction book. And so we are on chapter 8, which is about thinking in the certain way. Okay. Thinking in the certain way, which as we've been going along, he talks about that, right? You got to think in the certain way. You've got to act in the certain way. And there's this thinking stuff, right? The way he words things is kind of funny. So I think in a certain way. So if you guys haven't gotten the book, I highly encourage you guys to get it, right? Get it on Audible at least and follow along. And as we're going through these chapters, follow along with me. It'll make more sense to you as we go through this. Before we get too far into this though, guys, please like, subscribe, hit those notifications. And please sound off in the live chat, guys. If you guys are watching live right now, we have about 13 people watching live right now. There should be at least 13 likes on this video. If you guys are following along, you guys have questions about any of this stuff, you guys have comments about this. If you don't believe in this stuff, that's great. That's great. Like, I want to hear about it. Okay. If you want me to clarify something, that's great too. If you have something to add to what I'm talking about, sound off in the chat. Helps these shows go much smoother. And then you can be a part of the conversation. I'll bring it up on the screen, stuff like that. Also, guys, please send super chats. That helps support the show probably more than anything else. So please consider donating. I'm out here, I'm out here busking for you in the subway. Just drop your boy $1. All right, guys. So the first concept that we're going to talk about today is clarity of desire. Clarity of desire. To get rich, one must have a clear and definite mental picture of what they want. All right. Vague and misty concepts won't effectively transmit desires. Now, Wattles, he says, go back to chapter 6. Go back to chapter 6. And so that was 2 episodes ago. And he says, review the story of the guy who wanted an area rug and a fireplace. Okay, so this guy at the end of that chapter, if you recall, if you guys tuned into that episode, or if you've read the book, this guy found out, like they told him, like, hey man, if you just do these steps, right? If you just focus on what you want and visualize what you want, right? It believe that you already have it, like it'll come to you, right? And so this guy's like, I'll test it out. What? F it, right? We're not at the 8-minute mark. F it. I'll test it out. So he said, you know what? I could use an area rug and a fireplace to keep me warm in the winter, because he wasn't a rich man, right? He lived in a very modest house. And when he said, okay, I'll take an area rug and a fireplace, he got that in just a matter of like a couple of months, he was like shocked by it, right? Like, for him, that blew his mind. And so he's like, okay, well, if it worked for the area rug and the fireplace, I guess I'll go around my house and imagine all these improvements on my house and like what my house can look like. And as he did that, his house did get all the improvements it needed and stuff like that. Right. He realized that when he asked for the area rug and the fireplace, he didn't ask for enough. You know what I mean? He didn't ask for enough. So, but the guy learned to visualize that, right? So Waddle says, in order to get what you want, you have to visualize it. You have to have a clear mental picture in your mind of what you want, right? A clear mental picture in your head. And that's why things like having vision boards work. All right. He doesn't talk about vision boards. In fact, we'll get into what he says about that kind of stuff here. But that's why vision boards work, right? Because it actually helps you as you're looking at actual pictures of things that you want. If you sit there and look at a picture of it, and then like close your eyes and imagine having it. It makes it easier to imagine, right? It just makes it easier for you to visualize having it yourself if you already have a picture of what it is that you want, right? That's why vision boards work. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm going to mention him a couple times in this broadcast. If you guys go on Netflix and watch the docuseries about Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's fascinating. His whole first episode literally is about law of attraction. He doesn't say it once in that episode. But what he said was that when he was a young teenager, he went and saw the movie Hercules, right? Some Hercules movie. And he saw the actor on screen at the time. I don't know what the name of the actor is. And this guy was like ripped, right? Ripped. He was Mr. Olympia at the time. And he was just the epitome of what a strong masculine man was. And Schwarzenegger was like, I want to be that guy. I want to do what that guy does. Right. And so he immediately got it into his head that was what his trajectory was going to be. Right. He didn't know how he was going to do it, but he was like, I'm going to be like that guy. And then things started happening for him. Right. Like he was walking down the street and he happened to notice a bodybuilding magazine that had that guy on the cover. And he's like, oh my God, that's the guy from the movie. Decides I need to take action and buy this magazine, right? Because that's how it works, right? What happens is you do this stuff, it engages this thing called the reticular activating system in your mind, where your mind tends to filter stuff out that it doesn't think is important. Well, once you tell your brain, hey, this is important, you start noticing things. It's not that it wasn't there. It's not that it materialized out of the ether. It's that you just now notice it. So he noticed this magazine, picks it up, right? Takes it home, and it has the guy's training regimen on it. He goes, well, if this is what this guy does, I'm doing it. And he started implementing that training regimen, right? He also put pictures of the bodybuilders up in his bedroom on his wall and would sit there at night and visualize being the guy in the picture holding the medals and stuff like that, right? This is what he did. He used vision boards and became just so mentally involved in it. He had the clear picture in his mind and he made it a reality. Okay. It wasn't magic. Okay. It's just extreme focus, right? This is also why journaling works. Okay. Creating a clear mental image in your mind. This is why journaling works, right? Because as you're writing it out and you're being very descriptive, it's kind of like when you read a novel, right? You read a novel, a good novel is very descriptive, right? It tells you what's going on in the environment. It's painting word pictures for you. You can picture it in your mind's eye. You can see it happening. It's almost like a movie in your head, right? Well, if you do the same thing with journaling about what you want, and you get, the more clear you get, the better, the more you can visualize it as you're writing it out. That'll help paint a clear mental picture in your head. You see? Cool. Hey, Marty, what's going on, man? Yes, Reg Park. That's his name. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, Flacco, you got the audiobook. Thank you, man. Hey, be sure to give it a review on Audible when you're done. Appreciate it. Oh, you have all the books on your Amazon list? Yeah. There's, dude, like Ryan, Clary, and I, we all drop books at the same time. Clary's book is now available on Audible too, guys. If you guys were waiting for that to come out, it's out now. Ryan's still working on getting Dread on Audible, and he hates it. That's why I hired Thor. So the next concept here, guys, is coherent statement. Coherent statement. This is a very important key concept here. He says, when impressing wants upon substance, right? The creative force, right? What's the quantum field, right? God, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. I just want to say this. Every time I do these episodes now, AI clips what I talk about when I talk about Christianity or the Bible or whatever. It always takes it out of context. And then I get these uber Christians that get so pissed off at the clips, and they're like, you don't believe Jesus is our Lord and Savior? And I'm like, it doesn't matter what I believe. It doesn't matter what I believe. It doesn't matter what you believe. I'm trying to make this understandable to all audiences, right? Not everybody believes in the Bible, okay? It doesn't matter. You don't have to believe in the Bible for this stuff to work. It just works. So just take the steps. And I'm explaining it in different ways with different explanations of why it works, okay? Take whatever explanation resonates with you and run with it, okay? Just it doesn't matter. That's my point, okay? You could believe in the Bible, you could not believe in the Bible. You could be a Hare Krishna. It doesn't matter, all right? Oh, Christians, am I right? Okay. So he says here, when impressing your wants upon the substance or the creative force, one needs to articulate a coherent statement rather than sending out unformed longings and vague desires. Okay. He says you can't just say you want wealth to do good with because it's vague. And everybody says that. Everyone says that. What does that even mean, to do good with? Right? What does that even mean? Okay. So he says you have to be really specific about it. Be really specific about what you want. All right. Jack Canfield, if you guys don't know who Jack Canfield is, he's the author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. He was on The Secret. He also has another book that I read on Law of Attraction. I can't remember what it's called. Super long book. But he says vague goals get vague results. Vague goals get vague results, right? So Wattles says, if you were to send a wireless message to a friend, you wouldn't send the whole entire alphabet and let your friend figure out what letters to put together to make the message that you're trying to send, right? You would actually write out sentences that are clear and cohesive, right? Nor would you send random words from the dictionary, would you? No. Reminds me of guys who want to get into the podcast space. Guys who want to get into the podcast space and then talk about random stuff, okay? Nobody tunes into that. Not at first, anyway. Like, but Joe Rogan does it. Yeah, because he's Joe Rogan, right? If you want to get into the space, you have to niche down and find a core audience. And then you can branch out once you build your audience, okay? That's how you do that. That's how you do that. Otherwise, no one's tuning in, because someone might tune in for one episode and then they tune into the next episode and you totally lost them. You know what I mean? In fact, just on that topic, a lot of people tune into this podcast for dating and relationship stuff. Law of Attraction will help with that because it's all about, inner game and mental. Like, Law of Attraction is my answer to inner game. Okay. It's my answer to inner game. But a lot of these shows, these Science of Getting Rich shows, don't do as good of numbers as my dating and relationship shows, right? Like Friday's episode did hella good numbers. I was like, what the hell? It was all about the dating seasons, right? That one did hella good numbers. This episode, I'll probably get 200 views, if I'm lucky. But these episodes are a slow burn. I'm sure people are going to find these later on. So getting back to sending messages, right? When you send messages to your friends, it's usually a coherent sentence structure that they'd understand, right? Unless your brother Nathan, where's brother Nathan? Unless your brother Nathan, right? I have no idea what he's writing half the time. I'm just messing with you. The same goes for the universe, though, guys, right? Universe or infinite intelligence or just impressing something on your subconscious mind, doesn't really matter. You got to be clear with what it is that you're saying that you want, okay? Because if you don't know exactly what you want, how do you know when you've gotten it? Right? Something to think about here. We have a couple of super chats, guys. We have Brother Nathan, $2 super chat. We're after the 8-minute mark. We're going to give him this one today.
Walk into the club like, what up? I got a big cock.
Yes. That's Nathan, all right, for sure. And then we got Brother Ed. He says $5. Paul Everhard Bauer, coach of coaches. You get this one.
Respect the cock and tame the cunt.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, guys. All right. Let's unstar these. Okay. Copy. I hear you, but I gotta do my thing. Yeah. All right, guys. Before we get too far into this, be sure to follow me on social media, guys. The links are in the description. Dude, my Twitter has been on fire lately. Twitter's on fire lately. Follow me on Twitter if you don't already. Get on the email list, guys. List.comeonmanpod.com. You get 20 dating app openers. You get a free chapter from my book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. And I also mail you some free stickers. If you don't want stickers, that's fine. Just put "don't want stickers" in the address field, and I won't waste a stamp on you. Okay. Drives me nuts. It drives me absolutely bonkers when I get a return envelope in the mail. I'm like, God damn it. Please don't do that. Okay. If you don't want stickers, that's cool, man. It's cool. Guys, you can get my book at books.comeonmanpod.com. That's the Amazon link to it. If you guys just go to comeonmanpod.com, you can find links to autograph versions. Like I said, I have 2 of the standard edition paperbacks in stock, available, ready to go. If you want an autographed copy, it's the same price as Amazon, plus you get an autograph. And I also pack in some of those free stickers for you. Okay. If you don't want that, get it on Amazon. And then if you guys want the hardcover, it's actually cheaper to buy from me directly if you're in the United States. And because of just the way Amazon marks up their hardcovers on their site. And then the special editions are coming in tomorrow. So I'm going to have some more of those tomorrow too, if you want an autographed copy of that. And then finally, guys, check out my Practical Law of Attraction course. Everything in this series is law of attraction. Okay. Everything in the Science of Getting Rich is based on law of attraction, but I break it down into non-woo-woo, non-spiritual. I take all the crystals and chakras out of it. I take all the quantum theory out of it, and I break it down into simple psychological based concepts that are easy to implement. Like, you can start implementing this stuff immediately and start seeing some results. Let me play a commercial for that, and then we'll go ahead and continue with the rest of this chapter. Are you struggling to find a good quality woman? They are very rare indeed these days. If you spend any time at all watching content in the men's podcast space, or you spend time on dating apps or going out to clubs, you're seeing low quality, promiscuous women. You're finding women with daddy issues and personality disorders, or a myriad of other red flags, and you are frustrated. I get it, brother, but what if I were to tell you that the reason why you're only seeing these types of women is because of your mindset? Because of your paradigm. We get what we focus on in life, and you have trained your mind to focus on the type of women that you don't want. So those are the types of women that keep showing up for you again and again. Let's change that mindset today. If you're a guy looking to attract high quality, submissive women into your life, then I've got the perfect solution for you. And let me tell you, brother, it's all about mindset. That's right. You've got to reprogram your thinking to focus on the type of women you do want. That's where my Practical Law of Attraction course comes in. It's packed with proven psychology-based techniques that will help you manifest your dream woman. Trust me, you won't find this stuff anywhere else. Explained in such a simple, easy-to-use way. And let me tell you, when you start using these methods, you'll be amazed at how quickly things start changing for you. Picture this. You're out on the town, feeling confident and magnetic. All the women are drawn to you like moth to a flame. And best of all, you're attracting the type of women that are submissive and high quality. It's not that they weren't there before, it's that you weren't aware of them before. My course will teach you how to be more hyper aware of the kind of women that you actually want. It will teach you to believe that you're the most attractive man around. And when you believe it, you'll carry yourself that way. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for my course today. Visit loa.comeonmanpod.com. That's loa.comeonmanpod.com. Start living the life you've always dreamed of. Don't miss out on this opportunity to up your game and find the woman of your dreams. The law of attraction is nothing without action. So what are you waiting for? Act now. Act now, guys. Fastback GT says, Tony Robbins has a 7 CD set called Personal Power. CD 5 goes over goals. Highly recommend it. Has you do visualizations, projecting you into the future as if you already have what you desire. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's what we're talking about here. John says, but crystals. Hey, man, if you like crystals, man, whatever. It's okay. Wayne Dyer once said that it's not the crystals, though. It's not the crystals that do anything. It's your belief in the crystals that causes it to do something. You know what I mean? Anyway, so if you like crystals, whatever, whatever, no judgment, maybe a little judgment, whatever. Okay, so the next concept here in the science of getting rich is continuous focus. Like a sailor steering a ship or a steersman with a compass, one must continually keep their face towards the desired goal and not lose sight of it, right? So Waddles says you need to have a clear goal in your head at all times, like a sailor focuses on the port he's traveling to, right? He says you can't lose sight of it like a helmsman loses sight of his compass and heading. Waddles that calls him a steersman, but clearly Waddles was never in the Navy. Okay, it's the guy's at the helm. He's a helmsman. Usually it's a deck seaman, undesignated deck seaman that's steering the multi-billion-dollar warship. It's like an E3, like that's the guy driving the boat. That's the guy actually driving the boat. And he's actually not the one who's focusing on it, right? On a US warship anyway, right? Maybe smaller boat. The guy who's steering is also doing the navigating. The way it works on a ship, if you guys want to know, on a U.S. warship is you got these guys called quartermasters. Okay, they're up on the bridge. They got charts out, right? Charts, same thing as a map, but in the ocean, it's a chart. And they have a line drawn out, right? And that's the line of travel, right? And they're always calculating every few minutes. We calculate what's called PIM. Was it position of intended movement or something like that? And basically, we got to make sure that we're staying on the line, right? We basically draw an imaginary line through the water, and we got to stay on this line. That helps us get to the port we're going to. And and then we're also down in CIC. This is what I did. I was an operations specialist, so I'd be down in CIC, and we would be doing the same thing as the quartermasters. We'd be looking at GPS, and we had our own chart down there, and we were plotting it on the chart. And every so often we'd call up to the bridge and make sure that the quartermasters and us were in sync with where we are as far as PIM, making sure that we're on course. If we're behind course, if we need to correct course, right? If we were off course a little bit, we would have to do some geometry and figure out, like, okay, if we come left, 4 degrees, this will bring us back to, our Corpin, our line. And so then we go over to Swiss, which is, I stood Swiss for many years, and Swiss is a surface warfare supervisor. And Swiss would come up with, a recommendation like, bridge, this is combat, recommend coming left 4 degrees to get back on course, right? Stuff like that. Then the quartermasters would disagree with us, and then we'd send someone up to the bridge to argue with them. It was great. It was good times. And then the officer of the deck, he's the one that's in charge, right? So he'll say, all right, helmsman, come left 4 degrees, right? So the guy steering the boat is just doing what he's told. He's not paying attention to this shit. So we went off on a side tangent there, but that's how that works. There's a lot of people that get the boats where they're going, right? The ships. All right, so he says no need for special exercises, okay? While exercises and concentration spiritual practice may help, the primary requirement is a strong desire for wealth, which naturally keeps the mind focused, right? So he argues you don't need things like affirmations and vision boards and stuff like that, or meditation, right? All these techniques that like I teach in my course that you learn in other law of attraction books or law of attraction videos and stuff like that. He says you don't need it. You don't need it. All right. He says you just need to have a goal in your head that you think about often. Okay. Now this is true, but most people can't do that. Most people can't do that. And I'll tell you why. Okay. Most people have self-limiting beliefs. Most people have self-limiting beliefs, and they think about why they can't have something, or they think about what they don't want, right? I don't know that I want to be rich, but I don't want to be poor. I don't want to be poor. Well, if all you're thinking about is I don't want to be poor, you're just going to stay where you are. You're just going to get more poverty because all your subconscious mind here is poor. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between positive and negative. All it knows is what your prominent thoughts are. So if your prominent thoughts are poverty, I don't want to be poor, I hate being poor, I hate living in the single white trailer or whatever. That's all your mind hears, and that's all. You'll just get more of that. Okay. So most people can't do that. They really have to take the time to refocus their mind. Okay. So, now driven people can. Driven people can do this easily, right? That's why some really successful people become successful without realizing that they're using the law of attraction. All right. Arnold Schwarzenegger, going back to Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't think he ever read any of these books. I don't think he read any of these books. I don't think he, like, The Secret certainly didn't come out when he was a kid, right? That didn't come out till 2006, right? He just saw what he wanted on a screen one day, and it just became driven, right? So he never called it the law of attraction when he was talking about it, right? In his docuseries. He was just a really driven dude. And he happened to just use these techniques because he was so dedicated to it. He was so driven. It just helped him stay focused on it, right? So you don't have to have these techniques. Sometimes you'll just end up doing it naturally because you are so focused on your goals, right? And he had unwavering faith that this was going to happen, right? So I will say that these practices are good for several reasons, though, okay? Now, this isn't in the book. This is just my notes on it, right? It's good to do some of these practices because it eliminates self-limiting beliefs. It eliminates self-limiting beliefs, okay? It reprograms your mind to believe that you can achieve these goals. In fact, you're reprogramming your mind to believe you already have achieved it, all right? It helps you keep focused, which is the goal of all of this at the end of the day. You got to be focused on your goals, right? And we tend to get what we focus on in life. So if you dedicate time to focus on it, you'll actually achieve your goals. You understand? Was it gems and crystals are a forgotten science, are they? Okay. All right, guys. Speaking of crystals and chakras, join the beer club. This is what we do at beer club. We just get together with our crystals and we kumbaya and pound on drums and tambourines and stuff. No, we don't do any of that stuff. It's a men's group. It's a men's group. It's just a place where guys can have a place without the whamming, where you don't have to worry about offending people, right? It's a very active Telegram community as well. Okay, but we have meetups once a month, and the next meetup is January 18th. Okay, so join the beer club. It's only $10 a month. It's a good group of dudes. It's a good outlet. It's good for our mental health as men. You know, if you're in a relationship right now and you have no friends, that's a problem. That's a problem. You're going to tend to just dump all your baggage on your girl, and your girl's going to lose attraction for you over time. Okay, she's not the right outlet for that. People get so pissed when I say that. It's like, dude, it's not her job, and she doesn't want that job. Okay, so take that burden off her. Take it to the boys. All right. Beer club's a good outlet for that. All right. Next meetup, January 18th. And then, guys, one-on-one coaching's available at gumroad.comeonmanpod.com. I have two options available, right? You have unlimited Telegram support where you can send me text messages, voice messages, video messages, pretty much anytime, day or night. I'm not up like at 3 a.m, but you can send messages at 3 a.m, and I'll get to you like first thing. I'm really responsive with it. So that's level 2. And then if you want to go one step above that, I also offer voice and video calls once a month as well, for premium members. And right now I'm going to be posting ads on social media all month for it, but at least the tier 2 option, keep an eye out for that. But I have 4 slots available for that. So check that out if you guys want to work with me one-on-one. All right. What do we got here? You guys can like and subscribe. I didn't mean to click that though. Woohoo! Beer club. That's right. Okay. So guys, visualization. Let's talk about visualizations. Spend leisure time contemplating a clear mental picture of your desires. The more detailed and delightful the visualization, the stronger the desire becomes, right? So Wattles talks about basically daydreaming about your goal and what your life will look like having already achieved it, okay? You want to do this. You want to practice daydreaming a little bit, right? Now, he says if you really want that goal, if you really want it, this will be effortless for you. Okay. This is why Arnold Schwarzenegger posted the pictures of the bodybuilders up in his room, and he would just sit up there and daydream looking at it, right? Because he was really driven. It was effortless for him. Okay. Now, this may be true, but most of us are super busy, aren't we? We're super busy. We're super busy. How are you going to take time to just stop and daydream? Right? You got so much crap going on, right? Your boss is breathing down your neck. You have to make your kids lunch. You got to, write up notes for your podcast live stream, and then your dog needs insulin shots. Like, when are you going to take time to stop and daydream, right? We're adults. We don't have time for that bullshit. Right? Well, if you really want your goals to come to fruition, then you have to dedicate time to it, right? You have to make time for this stuff. Even if you put it on your calendar, like 15 minutes, just 15 minutes a day to just stop and look at your goal card or whatever technique you want to do. Or if you just want to stop, look at your vision board and daydream for a little bit, like that's a good way of doing it. There's lots of ways of doing it. Okay. But you got to dedicate time to doing it. You got to make time. Okay. It's just like going to the gym. You make time to go to the gym. If you're not making time to go to the gym, you need to fix that shit. Okay. In my course, I talk about goal cards, right? I'm not just some guy that's, blowing smoke on the internet. I literally have a goal card in my pocket all the fucking time. Okay. I practice what I preach. Now, my goal card is not magic. There's nothing magic about a goal card. Okay. It's just an aid to help with this sort of thing. Right. So I found that if I don't dedicate time for it, it just doesn't get done. Okay. So having a goal card in my pocket allows me to, let's say I'm standing in line at the supermarket and I reach in my pocket to grab, something, and I feel that goal card. One thing, I know what's on the goal card. It automatically, just that touch sensation says, hey, this is your goal card. And then I start thinking about what's on the goal card. I don't even have to read it. Okay. It just keeps it on the forefront of my mind. But sometimes I'll be standing in line. I'll pull it out and just start reading the goal card and then imagining what I'm talking about in it. Right. And everything on my goal card is written in the present tense. Okay. I talk all about that in my law of attraction course. But I found if I don't dedicate time for it, it doesn't get done. Right. So this is one of the things that I disagree with Wattles on, is that most of us are busy. We have to dedicate time for it. Okay. So, you could visualize it. Some people maybe they have ADD or something. So it's a little bit easier for them to wander off on daydreams and stuff like that, but then they're not getting their regular job done. The next concept is purpose and faith. So behind the clear vision, there must be a purpose to realize it. And when he says purpose, that means action. You got to take action. Okay. You have to have purpose to realize it, and unwavering faith that desired outcome is already yours. Live in the mental realm as if you already possess what you desire. So besides faith and visualization, you have to put purpose behind it. And what he's saying is the law of attraction is nothing without action. Okay. A lot of people don't like the movie The Secret because it really comes across like genies granting wishes. And if you just think about this stuff long enough, it's just going to magically appear out of the ether. And that's not how it works. They do talk about it in The Secret, but it's almost in passing, right? They talk about once you get an idea that you have to take action, jump on it. You have to jump on it, right? You get an idea like I should go here today, go there. Like you have to go to there. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Because if all you do is visualize, you're just daydreaming and nothing's getting accomplished. Okay. And none of this is magic. Okay. So I say it in my course, when you do these techniques, the various techniques, there's a million of them, right? You'll get ideas that there's things that you should be doing, or there's places you should be going, right? You'll get these epiphanies. And when you get these epiphanies, you have to act on it. All right. When you take that action, that will lead you to your goal. It will. Okay. It's almost like magic, but it's not. Okay. Like our brains are supercomputers here. Okay. Or God's leading you, whatever, however you want to think about it. Doesn't matter. Okay. So what one might say it's inspired thought. One might say that God himself is giving you direction. Others might say it's your subconscious mind problem solving. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. Whatever belief system you want to put on top of this will, so that it works for you, do it. Okay. It's fine. And when I say that kind of stuff, the Christians get all pissed. Are you saying Jesus isn't your Lord and Savior? Like, relax. Okay. I have a wide audience here. Okay. Not everyone believes that. It doesn't matter. Okay. Just act on your epiphanies and you'll end up where you want to go. Okay. That's the moral of the story. He says you have to have a mental attitude of ownership. So you got to take the mental attitude of ownership towards everything in the desired picture. Hold on to the belief that is already real and yours. Okay. So Wattles talks about mentally picturing yourself in a new house. He uses this as an example, right? Mentally picturing yourself in a new house and living there mentally, right? Like maybe you live in an apartment right now, but in your, like, in pretend land, in your head, you picture yourself living in a mansion and you walk around as if you live in a mansion when you're in your apartment. Okay. Sounds silly. It sounds silly, but he says you want to do that until the house that you want to live in forms around you physically. Okay. Now it's not going to happen like magic, right? Obviously it won't magically materialize around you, but what you'll find is that by mentally imagining yourself already living in your dream house or whatever, that you will eventually find the means to buy your dream house. And when you look back, the house you're living in will be just like you imagined it. And it will blow your fucking mind when it happens. It will blow your fucking mind. All right. You'll one day be making coffee in your fucking mansion or whatever. It doesn't have to be a mansion. And then you'll look around and go, oh my God, I was visualizing this 10 years ago back in my 1-bedroom apartment. This is it. Holy shit. Paul was right. The house I'm living in is like that. The house I'm living in is like that, right? I wanted a beautiful house with a view. Now I have one, right? And sometimes I like to sit on my back patio with Nurse Chick and just look at my view of the Grand Mesa. I have a spectacular view out my backyard, right? I have this, so I have my property. I have a 1/4 acre plot. And then behind it is this open field, this local hay baron, because I live out in the cow pastures. This local hay baron owns all the property behind me, and it's just empty, wide open space. And so I have no houses behind me. I have a very clear view of the Grand Mesa in Colorado. It's breathtaking. And sometimes I just sit out there on my back patio, just mind blown that this is mine. Like I achieved this, right? I talk about it in my book, right? How I got the house. It wasn't like I just magically got this house, you know. I mean, I did have to get a loan for it and stuff like that, but it was like everything lined up perfectly in getting this house, you know. And it really is like my dream house. So the key here is visualizing it like you already have it, right? Present tense. So Wattles, we're going to get biblical here for you Jesus people. Wattles quotes Mark 11:24. Okay. For you guys. And if you guys are atheists, that's fine. Like I'm telling you guys, this is for everybody. All right. Wallace quotes Mark 11:24. The NIV version. I prefer the NIV version. That's just me. I don't speak in Old English, so I don't like the King James version. So I like the NIV. So the NIV version says, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." All right. That was Jesus. Jesus himself said that. Okay. Most people pray incorrectly. Most people pray incorrectly. Think about that for a minute. Most people pray incorrectly. They're asking God, right? for something they don't have already. Like, God, please, I need this. I need this. I need healing. I need this, right? But what you're telling God or the ether or your subconscious mind, it doesn't matter. Okay. Again, doesn't matter. What you're saying is you don't already have it. Right. So let's say you do want to be healed. Right. Let's say you do want to be healed. This is how it works. All right. And there is this thing called a placebo effect, which I talk about in my course. Because like I said, my course breaks it down into psychology, the psychological explanation. Okay. There is this thing called the placebo effect. Right. And if you don't know what the placebo effect is, basically what it is if you give someone a sugar pill, right, it has no medical properties at all. It's just filled with sugar. And you say, hey, this will cure your cancer or whatever. If the person believes that medicine is curing their cancer, it will cure the cancer. You see what I'm saying? Or whatever the ailment is going on. And that it's been proven. Okay. So it's like, it's a psychological thing of belief. It really comes down to belief. Okay. So if you believe that you're already healed, right? In the movie The Secret, there's a lady who had breast cancer and she would say, thank you for my healing. Thank you for my healing. Right? Like as if she's already been, like it's already in the process of healing. And so she's just thank you for my healing. And then she just would focus on positive things. Like she would watch like comedies and stuff like that and just eliminated all negativity from her mind and just focused on thank you for my healing. Her breast cancer did go away. And the doctors were like, this is crazy, right? This is amazing. But it was her belief system. Okay. Now, was it God? Maybe. Was it the quantum field? Maybe. Or was it just the placebo effect? Maybe. Okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. So most people pray incorrectly because they're asking for something that they don't have. And they're just putting out there that they don't have it. And they just keep getting more of not having it. You see what I'm saying? But if you put out there, thank you for having it already, and believe that you already have it, and convince yourself that you already have it, you will have it. Okay. And Jesus himself, okay, if you are a religious person, Jesus himself said this. Okay. So don't take my word for it. The Messiah. The Wattles says that as you visualize already having your goals, you also need to mentally take ownership of it and have full faith that it's actually yours, right? So mentally take ownership of it means like you mentally already own it, right? And then we have gratitude here. Gratitude, right? Be thankful for your desires as if you already have already taken, they've already taken form, right? Be thankful for your desires as if they've already taken form. Real faith is demonstrated by sincere gratitude for things owned only in imagination. So we have to practice our attitude of gratitude with this process, right? We talked about this in a previous chapter. Being thankful for things we want as if we already have them really puts us, if you want to break it down to the psychological explanation and take the woo-woo out of it, it really puts us in the right emotional state to impress on our subconscious, and our subconscious will work that much harder to figure out how to make it a reality. You understand? If you want to take the Bible stuff out of it and break it down into, where is it? If you want to break it down into practical psychological explanation, it's just the right mental state to really impress this upon your subconscious mind. Okay. And your subconscious mind's like a supercomputer, and it just works night and day to figure out how to make things a reality. Once your subconscious believes something to be true, it will make it true. Okay. That's why all the guys in the space think all women are hoes and stuff, right? Because they're like, all they see is all the hoes and the 304s on Fresh and Fit. And they're like, all women are like that. All women have OnlyFans these days. It's like, not accurate, bro. Not necessarily true, but that's just what you're focused on. Okay. We got some comments here. Let's see here. Yes, I do have a crazy dog lady neighbor, but she put that dog away, man. I haven't had a problem with that dog since I lost my shit at her. What's he say? Imagine, yes. Imagining as you fall asleep is the best time to manifest. Yep, I agree with that. As you fall asleep, you closest to your higher self, which whatever you yeah. Sorry, that was a little bit hard to read. Imagining everything as a movie. Imagine what your friends and family would say, how your life will change, how happy you'll be. Yeah. You basically have to try to, the more detailed you get, the better. The more detailed you get, the better. All right. So we have answer to prayer. The answer to prayer is not just about verbalizing desires. Okay. It's about faith and work. Faith is demonstrated through consistent actions towards the desired outcome, right? The law of attraction is nothing without action. Okay. You can't just be thinking about it and daydreaming about it. You have to take action when you get the inspired thoughts that I already talked about, right? Wattles quotes the Bible again here, guys. Matthew 6:7. He says, the NIV says, and when you pray, do not keep on babbling like pagans, for they think they will be heard because of their many words, right? So essentially, you don't have to keep telling the universe what you want. You eventually need to believe you already have it and have the faith that it's yours already. You understand? That's why there's I talk about it in my book, right? There's basically 3 easy steps to the law of attraction. Ask, believe, receive, right? You have to believe that it's already yours. Okay, so it's very important. And so I heard, like, you guys won't like this reference, but Oprah Winfrey is really big into the woo-woo part of this. And she's like, I'm an amazing manifester because what I do is I ask for what I want and then I never think about it again. I already believe that I've gotten it. That's a good way of doing it. You know what I mean? So essentially you don't have to keep telling the universe what you want. Eventually you need to believe it, right? So one good thing about repetition, though, I will say this. One good thing about repetition is that will help for your subconscious mind to believe that you have it already, especially if you do it in the form of the gratitude affirmations reinforcing you already have it, right? Because like I said, a lot of us have self-limiting beliefs and a lot of us are focusing on what we don't want. So you really have to, if you want to undo that, if you want to unfuck yourself, you have to put it in the present tense like you already have it and do the repetition so that it basically reprograms your subconscious mind. Do you understand? So Wattles says, the answer to prayer is not according to your faith while you are talking, but according to your faith while you are working, right? So as you're taking action on this stuff, that's really where this stuff's going to materialize for you. Okay. And it's not magic. And then the last concept we have, Ethan says, good morning and sorry for the late response, Mr. Come On Man podcast. You know what? Don't apologize, man. It's okay. It's okay. You can go back and watch the replay if you want. It's all right. So pray without ceasing. All right. The concept of prayer is not limited to specific times or rituals. It involves holding steadily to your vision and the purpose and faith that you are causing its creation into solid form. Yes, please like the video. Thank you, Nuke. Thank you. Appreciate that. Now, this is interesting, okay? Because one thing I will say, I say often, right, is the law of attraction goes hand in hand with any religion. It's basically it's the base of all religions, okay? When you really dig down into it. Now, Muslims, this nothing against Muslims, right? But Muslims set aside 5 times a day to pray, okay? Now, Wattles argues it's not necessary. And that if you are constantly thinking about your goal, you're essentially praying without ceasing, right? So if you're just it's always on the forefront of your mind, you're always thinking about it. You don't have to set aside 5 times a day to pray. You're already thinking about it, okay? You're already visualizing. You're already imagining it's already happened for you, okay? You're already living as if, right? Now, Wattles doesn't directly quote it in the chapter, but I'm pretty sure that Charles Haenel does in the book, The Master Key System. The Master Key System is another really good law of attraction book. And the way it's written isn't really like a book like Science of Getting Rich. It's written, it was actually a correspondence course it was a correspondence course around the turn of the century. And then they just compiled all the lessons and then all the questions and answers into a book form. And it's really good. It really breaks down law of attraction, probably better than anything I've ever read. Next to Andrew Cap's book, The Last Law of Attraction book you ever need to read, because he really simplifies it. But if you really want to understand the why, especially the spiritual why of this works, Master Key System's great. But Hanel says it in Master Key System. He quotes Thessalonians 5:16 through 18. In the NIV version says, "Rejoice always. Pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus," right? The King James version says, "Pray without ceasing." So this is where Wattles gets this concept of praying without ceasing. Okay. But essentially, if you continually have your goals on the forefront of your mind, you're basically praying without ceasing in a way. Are you not? Are you not? Something to think about. I guess it depends on if you're a spiritual person or not. But like I said before, it doesn't matter, right? You can be an atheist and follow these steps. It will still work for you, right? Because like I said, there's also a psychological explanation for all this. All right. So whatever belief system you want to put on top that will let you do this, do it. It's like what Ryan Stone says, right? If you tell someone that the moon is made out of cheese, but it gets them to go to the gym, the moon's made out of cheese, right? It doesn't matter why. But if you practice these things, you'll find that you'll reach your goals. Okay. Any goal you want. All right, guys, that's all we have for this chapter. I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I'm like I said before, these law of attraction episodes aren't doing the kind of numbers that my dating and relationship things are doing. And these are probably going to be a slow burn, right? People that like the law of attraction, they want to learn more about it, they're going to find this series, and it's going to be a slow burn. You know, that's what I think. But hopefully you guys are getting something out of it. All right. Be sure to tune into the podcast on Friday. We're going to be getting back into like dating and relationship stuff, right? I'm going to be talking about how the myth of the one is holding you back in dating. The myth of the one, right? I just want to find my person. I want to find my soulmate. Is holding you back. Okay. And we're going to break down why. I talk about it in my book. So we're basically going to go through that chapter in my book on Friday. So that should be fun. If you guys haven't gotten the book yet, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? All right, guys. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, hit those notifications. Thanks to everybody that sounded off in the live today. I really appreciate it. Your guys' interaction really helps these go by much smoother. Thanks to you guys that sent super chats. That helps support the show more than anything else. Follow me on social media. The links are in the description. I've been talking about the law of attraction, guys, on Twitter today. I've got it scheduled. There's going to be a flash sale. So I think at noon Eastern time is where it's going to tweet out. Keep an eye out for that, because you can take $100 off my Practical Law of Attraction course with that flash sale. So keep an eye out for that. And if you been wanting to take the course, here's your opportunity. Okay. Get on the email list, guys, list.comeonmanpod.com. You get 20 dating app openers. You get a free chapter from my book. And I also mail you stickers. If you don't want the stickers, just put "don't want stickers" in the address field. I won't waste a stamp on you. Get the book, guys, books.comeonmanpod.com. It's available on Amazon in all formats, including Audible. If you're an Audible listener, it's available. So go check that out. Join the beer club. The next meetup is January 18th. It's only $10 a month. It's a good group of dudes, good outlet. Good for networking, by the way. And then coaching's available, guys. One-on-one coaching. If you want to work with me directly, there's 2 options available. If you go to gumroad.comeonmanpod.com, you can check that out. Let's see. Oh, hey, look at this. We got another super chat. RP Matthew 2024. Paul's prosperity tax deposit. Thank you so much, man. I'm going to give you Elena's Bars Fitness.
Shame this horse.
Yeah, shame these horse with the $1.99 super chat. Appreciate that, man. All right, guys. We will see you guys on Friday for the stream about the myth of the one. There it is. All right. Peace out.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.